Hey guys. Hello. Let me know who's watching in the comment section. Thank you for joining. Hi, Poised and Polished. What's your first name? As you join, just drop your name in the comment section. I'm so excited. Wow, my computer's moving really slow for some reason. Let me close some of these tabs up. Okay, let's see. Hello, Brittany, Deja, or Daja. Thank you guys for tuning in. So I hope you have your snacks. I have some chips here, and I have some tea. I'm excited. It's going to be a good conversation. So I posted on my Instagram stories for you guys to share what you wanted to see content-wise, because to be honest, I had kind of gotten to the point where I was ready to just kind of stop making YouTube videos, mainly because I have my podcast. I don't know if you guys know that, but I have a podcast called the SOULBEAUTYCHAT on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, all of that stuff. Hi, Shireen. And I post on my podcast pretty frequently. I typically post once a week, but as of lately, I've been posting a little less just because of holiday season is coming up, work. I started a new job last month, so I haven't really been able to pump out the episodes the way I used to. But yeah, I have pretty much just been focusing on my podcast. And if you saw the last videos I posted, they have all been vlogs for the most part. I think so. Yeah, I don't think I've actually sat down to record a video in like months. It's been months since I've done that. So I've been enjoying making the vlogs, but I was just a little unsure if you guys were enjoying watching them. So if you are enjoying watching the vlogs, make sure that you're letting me know that in the comment section, like in the comment section of the video or here. But like that feedback is so important, because if people don't respond to stuff that I'm creating, I literally will be like, okay, start to question, which I think a lot of content creators do, but we start to question, like, is this what people want to see? Because if you're not watching it, or if you're not engaging with it, what is this on my, then it, you start to wonder. So yeah, I asked for suggestions and what you guys wanted to see, because I say this all the time, but my content is definitely spirit led, meaning that whatever God wants me to talk about is what I talk about, but I still want to consider what is interesting and what is top of mind for you as a viewer. So if you're just joining us, thank you. Make sure you leave your name in the comment section as you join. We're going to have a little chit chat about femininity, vulnerability, and mental health. Christine says, continue with the vlogs, please. Awesome. Thank you for that feedback. See, that feedback really goes a long way, because I'm going to be honest, a huge part of why I was considering stopping the vlogs also, because sitting down and recording a video like directly to camera, similar to this, is so much easier to edit than vlogs. Like vlogs literally take forever to edit, because it's like you're capturing all this content, for me sometimes over like weeks at a time, and then trying to put that into a story that makes sense for the viewer can be really challenging. And also it's like I have to make sure that I'm not including like too many personal details about certain things, or about like where I'm staying, or just certain aspects of my life that I don't feel comfortable sharing. Like I have to go through and like make sure I'm capturing exactly what I want to capture, and leaving out all of the other things. So mastering vlogging is truly an art form. Like people who do it well, shout outs to them, because it takes so much work. It's so much easier to just sit here and just talk about like this one product or this one thing, you know. But vlogs is like a whole nother world. So yeah, so anyway, that's my little rant about that. But thank you guys so much for the feedback on that. And I'm glad that you've been enjoying them thus far. So this video, like I said, is going to be about femininity, vulnerability, and mental health. And I actually wrote down some notes because I'm prone to forget. But I really want this to be a conversation. So if you've been following me for a while, you probably remember when I used to do my live soul beauty chats, which was basically a live stream that I would do every Sunday where we would talk about a certain topic. So this kind of has that vibe, you know. I'm just here chilling. What does that sound? I feel like every time when I sit down to like record or do something, that's when I suddenly hear a bunch of noise. But other than that, it's always quiet around here. Um, so what I am gonna do is I have my snacks, I have my tea. Let me know what you're drinking or what you're snacking on or what you're doing. I'm always curious what people are doing when they're watching these videos. And we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about all the things. So I really want this to be a conversation. So if you have thoughts or questions or anything about this topic, these topics, leave them in the comment section. I'm also going to be painting my nails at the same time, but I'm like, I kind of want to eat, but I kind of want to, but yeah, my intention is to paint my nails because they look rough and I need to get them in order. So let's start with the question for you guys. What are your thoughts about femininity and vulnerability? Let's start with those two first. Mental health, I'm going to loop in, but I want to start with those two. What are your thoughts right now in your life, whatever season you're in life, about mental health? About femininity and vulnerability. Brittany says, meal prepping right now. I need my nails in order too. That's actually what I'm going to do next. I'm going to clean up my apartment. So it's like semi-clean, but I need to like scrub and meal prep for the week. So I posted on Instagram what you guys wanted to see. And the topic of femininity and vulnerability came up, which I thought was really interesting because I don't know if it's just my feed eating apples and almond butter. Oh, that sounds good. I don't know if it's just my feed on YouTube, but lately I feel like every time I sign on to YouTube, there's videos popping up about femininity, particularly for Black women, like Black women and femininity. Like this conversation is like very prevalent on YouTube right now. So I'm curious to know if that is coming up on your feeds also. But that's something that I noticed is that that has been popping up a lot. So I've been watching some of the videos out of curiosity. Some people I actually follow, others I don't. They just show up on like my recommended page. And it's been interesting because I am in a space right now where I have been thinking a lot about that. So it's like one of those weird moments where I'm like, is my phone spying on me? Because how do you know that this is what I've been thinking about and like talking about to my friends? You know, the phones are definitely spying on us. They're listening to every conversation, all of our notes, like everything we write, everything we say is like being documented and used to then market to us later. So I know that that is actually happening, but it still amazes me every time when I see it, to be honest. Um, so yeah, my feed has been covered with that. And there's been some conversations around just, especially around Black women, vulnerability, and femininity. Um, Brittany says, my femininity is a big thing in my life right now. I've been feeling so down lately because I wasn't taught how to be feminine from my mother. Now I have to teach myself. I'm struggling so badly. I'm so happy that you just said that because this is a huge part of why I wanted to make this video is because I too struggle with femininity, which is why I think I've just been so consumed with these videos. Like they're popping up on my feed and I'm like, okay, let me watch this because I'm very curious to know what this is about. Some of the videos that I've been watching have been more geared to the physical things you can do, right? Which is helpful. But I noticed when I'm watching those videos that my first thought kind of goes to the mental side of it, right? The psychological side of it, where I'm like, well, why is it that some people are more feminine and some people are more masculine? Because we know, or maybe we don't know, but across the board, men and women both have feminine qualities and masculine qualities, like feminine energy and masculine energy. They can coexist within one human being, regardless if you are a female or a male, or a man or a woman, right? Those attributes are not just men are masculine, women are feminine, period. Like, I'm sure we can all think of a man who's very feminine and think of a woman who's very masculine. And then you can think of someone, or maybe you are someone that's kind of like in between, like you fluctuate between the two. So, in no way, shape, or form do I feel like one, like I'm an expert on this. Like I say about everything that I talk about on my channel, I am not an expert. I literally just share from personal experience and what I've learned along the way. So I'm glad that you shared that so honestly. Thank you for that, Brittany, because I think if there was more conversation around women saying that I have never been taught how to be feminine, or just like some of the shame or guilt even sometimes that comes with not feeling feminine enough, or feeling like you know how to be feminine. I feel like that is kind of like the entry point into having growth in the area through honesty, right? Like that's what my channel is all about, is being honest and transparent so that we can all grow in the process. So I'm the first to admit that I definitely struggle with femininity. And it's interesting because I've been thinking about this a lot. And recently I've started going back to therapy as well. So it's been coming up in those conversations also, where I'm realizing that this is a deep rooted thing. Like for so long in my mind, I've just been like, that's just not how I am. Like I'm just not a girly girl. And then when I thought about it and I really started to like take a look at like my wardrobe, for example, and like the things that I like just the things that I have laying around. Like I'll show you some of the things I have on my vanity right now. For example, right, like I have this little handheld mirror that I use for like tweezing and plucking and grooming and all that stuff. I have like these little things that I actually just painted gold. I got them from the thrift store, but I just put my floss in here and cotton pads. Um, but just like a lot of the things, like for instance, I'm about to paint my nails, this like rose gold color. Just like a lot of the things that I'm naturally drawn to and have always been drawn to have been considered, the typical feminine classic things, like things that are sparkly, things that are pink, even like hello, this pink fuchsia robe situation we got going on. So naturally, I know that I have always been drawn to those type of things, but it was always like this conflict where I felt one side of me was naturally drawn to these things, but the world, my environment around me caused me to feel like I had to protect myself, right? So this is where the mental health part of it comes in, because through journaling and quiet time and prayer and talking to my therapist, I've been able to kind of identify where that stems from, right? And I've talked about it before in previous videos, so it's not like a new thing that I'm just realizing, but I am just now making the connection that this ties in directly to my femininity. So, um, that thing that has kind of become clear to me is that my environment, the way that I grew up, really caused me to put myself in like to put a wall up around me on all sides, right? So when I'm in my natural essence, when I'm completely in my natural essence, in my childlike essence, right? Because I think when we think back to when we were kids, if you think back to when you were a kid, you can kind of find that moment, or you can find that a time where, if speaking to the people who struggle with feeling feminine, um and also speaking for myself, like everybody's situation might be different, but for me, if I think back further enough, I can think back to a time where I was fully embracing my feminine qualities, right? Like when I was like, I think the latest I can remember of fully embracing it was probably around the age of like 9 or 10, where I used to be consumed with playing dress up. Like, I remember all the time, all I would do is my mom had, like, in the closet, we just had all these random curtains and just random things, random things that moms just have stored away in closets, blankets, curtains, like all of this stuff, decorations. And I would find myself just digging through the closet, finding random things to just take out and to play with. And I vividly remember we had like this black sheer curtain set, and I remember taking it out of the closet and like making a dress out of it and making like a head wrap and making a scarf and just like being this overly dramatic, overly feminine, like painting my nails practically every day. Like, and that was something that I would do up until I was probably like in my early 20s. Like, I remember doing that consistently. Um, and then I stopped, right? I stopped doing those things. I stopped kind of like playing dress up. And it wasn't just like I outgrew it, right? But I stopped embodying my feminine characteristics. And I'm starting to realize the connection of what caused me to stop, what caused me to put this wall up where I only express my femininity in certain settings or in certain ways. And I realized that it was a product of my environment. So I've talked about this before, but I don't know how many of you are new followers or old followers. Actually, leave a comment if you're like you've been following for like years, so you know quite a bit about like my background, or if you're a new follower. But I realized that I grew up in the hood, in New Jersey, right? I grew up in the hood, and around like 9, 10 is when puberty starts, right? And it's when, I started to develop a little bit, like a very little bit, because I still don't have much now. So you can imagine at 9 or 10, I really didn't have anything. But I was starting to, move into like my teenage years. And I remember that was when like I would hang out with my friends in the neighborhood, and we would like walk to the store and walk to school and like do different things, right, in the neighborhood. And if you grew up in the inner city or the hood, like I like to call it, then you know that there's an abundance of liquor stores, corner stores, chicken stores, all the different type of stores. And typically that is where drug dealers hang out. That's where drug addicts hang out. That's where just a lot of men who, for the most part, are up to no good, right? Just hanging out, just whether they're drinking, smoking, gambling, whatever it is that they're doing something that is questionable. I'll just say that, right? The people who are hanging outside of chicken stores and liquor stores and corner stores, all of that type of stuff. And as a kid, between the ages of like 10, maybe even like 11 and like 11, 12, 13, is when I remember I started to feel uncomfortable doing things that I would always do, like riding my bike or hanging out with my friends, walking to the store. Like, doing those things started to feel uncomfortable because I noticed grown men looking at me and saying things to me that were highly inappropriate. Um, like sexual things, and just making these remarks that as an adult, I'm realizing now like that was blatant sexual harassment. But as a kid, you just kind of assume that that's normal, especially growing up in that environment. You're just like, oh, well, this is just how they are. Like, they talk to everyone like this. Like, you start to desensitize something that is actually leaving a lasting traumatic impact on your mental health. And I didn't realize it until recently. Like, that is a huge part of why I stopped expressing my feminine side, was because if I know that me walking to the store with my friends could potentially, with a dress on, right? Let's say I have on a dress, not short, just a normal dress. But if I know that that is probably going to get more attention from these men who are hanging outside, then I'm going to wear jeans, right? I'm not going to wear well, when I was young, my mother wouldn't let me wear a belly shirt anyway. So that wasn't a thing. But like, I'm not going to feel comfortable wearing my dress, knowing that I'm going to have to deal with unwanted attention from men. And that pattern literally carried stayed with me from that age up until now. Like, I'm realizing that there's times now where I will choose to dress in a way that is not going to bring attention to myself. Even if I want to wear a dress, even if I want to wear shorts, even if I want to wear a crop top, because I'm grown now, right? But I'll have moments where I'm like, but do I want that male attention today? No, today isn't a day where I want male attention. So in that case, I'm just going to wear some jeans, or you know what I mean? And I'm seeing some comments where people are like agreeing and understanding and feel the same way. Um, okay, Brittany, I just read your comment about the therapist. I'm going to get back to you on that because that is a great question. And I'm definitely going to talk about that. Um, but yeah, just like I noticed that that was something that I still do. Like, even if I'm going to the gym, right? For example, if I'm going to the gym, in the past, I used to be one of those girls that would like wear leggings and just a sports bra to the gym. And I would be totally comfortable and I would be working out and doing all this stuff. And then it got to a point where I noticed, okay, when I wear that, I'm getting all these looks from men, like constantly getting looks or comments, or now I feel uncomfortable just working out because I'm getting this attention. And that's not that in that situation, right? I'm not blaming the men for that. I'm just saying that it is like it puts me back in that same situation when I was 10, 11, 12, hanging out with my friends and people are slurring sexual comments to little kids, to little girls. So that sticks with us. And I think sometimes when we're accustomed to living in environments that are not the best for us, we don't even notice the wrong in them. We don't even notice like how traumatic a situation can be. And I am about to turn 29 next month, and I am just now getting to the point where I'm making the connection and realizing that that is a huge part of why I struggle so much with being feminine or embracing my femininity, because I am feminine, right? Like if I like I what I shared with you guys in the beginning, naturally I'm drawn to things that are considered feminine. That is me at my core. That's how I've been when I was a little kid. But over time, society and my environment had a way of making me feel like being feminine wasn't safe. So I started to put myself in this box for my safety, because your brain on the psychological level, your brain is always thinking of ways to protect you. It's always looking for potential threats and then problem solving. And even when there's not a potential threat, your brain will go back to previous experiences that were threatening and find those same patterns in what's happening to you right now, to connect the dots to see if this is a threat and if your body needs to go into fight or flight. And I think that's just been so interesting for me to learn lately, like to have that moment where I realized that, hey, actually, I am naturally very feminine and very girly, but I was, my environment taught me to believe that it wasn't safe to be that way. So I had to be tough. I had to be, straight faced. I had to be um, watchful. I couldn't just exist as myself because then I would be unsafe, right? That's how my 10-year-old, 11-year-old brain started to process the things that were happening around me. Um, Someone says that that is the same reason I don't wear dresses, unwanted attention. I'm curious to know, like, how does that make you guys feel though? Like, because I'm seeing that some people are agreeing, but how does that make you feel? The fact that, like, you choose not to wear a dress because you don't want to get unwanted attention. Like, I'm curious to know on a day to day basis, like, how do you feel when you do that? For me, it feels like It feels like I am betraying myself. Like, what I want to do and what I want to express in this moment, I'm suppressing it for someone else, basically. That's how I feel about it. And I don't like that feeling, which is why lately I've decided that I'm going to fully embrace this side of me and stop playing it down, because I think through therapy, what I've been learning is that a lot of what was perceived as being unsafe, although a lot of it I probably really was unsafe in those situations, right? Like as a little kid hanging out with my friends and there's grown men saying sexually explicit things to us, that probably was unsafe. Um, but as an adult, I've been reminding myself, like, I don't know how deep you guys have gone into therapy or like mental health and stuff, but I learned about the concept of reparenting and the inner child last year when I was in therapy. I think it was last year when I learned about it. And that has really transformed my life because I'm realizing that when it comes to my femininity and vulnerability, I have to reparent myself around that. I have to literally remind myself on a daily basis that it's safe now, that I'm safe now, and that I don't have to, like, I'm not that little kid that was afraid just hanging out with her friends or going, to the chicken store or whatever I was doing at 10 or 12. Like, I'm not that little girl anymore. And although I may have felt unsafe in those moments, I don't have to carry that with me anymore, you know? And if you've never heard of the concept of reparenting or inner child work, I would really suggest that you look it up if this is resonating with you, if you're curious about it, because it really is really powerful when you realize that and you start to work towards it. Um, I just subscribed. It's never too late to learn. So Anne Marie says you feel like you have to be hard and it feels like self sabotage. I agree. That's exactly what it feels like. It's like, and honestly, granted, some women, hi Kiara, some women probably don't mind being hard and being tough and being, masculine, portraying masculine energy. For some women, maybe they don't feel the need to change that or or that there's something wrong, And I'm not saying there's something wrong either. I'm just saying for me personally, it's like I know that that is not truly who I am. Like I know that I've been putting on a front of being this like tough person and walking around with rest and bitch face and it's to the point now where I'm noticing how much that hinders me. Like I notice how much that hinders me and I'm just like I'm not interested. I'm not interested anymore. I'm not interested in being this tough person in order to be safe. Like I'm safe now. Like I am safe in my existence as I am, and me walking around with a bean mug or me smiling is not going to change that. Yeah, there may be more attention if I'm smiling or if I have on a dress or if I have on something that's flattering my body. Like, yeah, there's going to be more attention, but reminding myself that like I'm a grown woman now and that I can manage that and I don't have to feel unsafe in every environment just because of that fact. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you guys think about that because I feel like I've been rambling. Anne Marie says, you took the words right out of my mouth. It is truly a journey. So, speaking of journey, I want to, second. I actually want to spend a little time talking about what I've been doing to shift that, in addition to the inner child work and the reparenting that I talked about. Exactly. You were a young target to those guys, 100%. And now it's like that fear, it stayed with me, but it's not happening right now. So it's like bringing yourself back into the present and being like, you're safe. You're safe to do this. You're safe to experience that. So let's talk about the fun stuff, the stuff that I have been doing to tap into my femininity and fully embrace it on a daily basis and slowly work my way back into being like my childlike self when I was just super girly, super feminine, loved everything pink, love, playing with Barbies, all of that stuff, like tapping back into that energy. Um, I want to talk about what I've been doing lately. So, first thing, therapy. That's not the fun stuff, but we'll get to the fun stuff. Therapy has been huge, impactful, and just so helpful for me. And I would encourage you all, if you can, go to a therapist to go. I understand that it is a luxury and it should not be. Honestly, it should just be it should be a part of your health insurance, in my opinion. Like, you should just be allowed to just go to a therapist. But because it is a luxury, I understand that, but I would encourage you to check your options, like check on different websites. Sorry, give me 1 second. I feel like I just need to blow my nose. 1 second. So I would recommend checking like Psychology Today, checking out different mental health organizations online to find affordable therapy. There's also this website. I can't remember the name of it. I posted on my Instagram stories a little while ago. And where else did I post it? Let me see if I can find it. But there's this service that is very, very affordable. Oh, here it is. It's called openpathcollective.org. So if you're interested in affordable therapists, please check this out. So therapy on average can cost you like $150 a session, and sessions are usually an hour. That's a lot of money, right? But this website is like a membership thing where you pay for the year, you pay $60, and then you can find a therapist in your area, and the range is between like $30 and $60 per session, which is a huge difference. Now, granted, you have to do the membership thing. I was lucky enough that my therapist, I found her through the app, but she didn't require that I was a member of that site in order to work with her. So, but she still gave me the rate, the member rate. So I would suggest looking into that website. Oh yes, it's called openpathcollective.org. And also, I found out about this through my Facebook group, the Soul Beauty Chat on Facebook. It's a private Facebook group where we talk about faith, self-love, mental health, all the things we talk about here, but it's a private community. And that's where someone shared that link. So I would encourage you also, if you're not a member of the group, to join, because that's where all the resources are. Like, if you need bomb playlists, if you need sermons for certain topics, you just need daily inspiration, that's the place to go for it. So yeah, that's how I found out about that website. And I'm so grateful. I've been going to my therapist ever since I found out about it. And she is amazing. And to the point that Brittany made earlier, she is a Black woman. So it is not wrong for you to want your therapist to look like you. I've done like Talkspace and those online ones, and my therapist there. I've had an older white woman, a younger white woman, I think a Latino woman. I haven't worked with a male therapist. Thank you for typing that in. And then my first in-person therapist when I was back in New Jersey was an Indian woman, and she was amazing. So she wasn't Black, but she was a person of color. So for me, that helped a lot because just talking about, the everyday struggles of being a Black woman in America is like she didn't fully understand, but I feel like she had a better understanding than some of the white women that I was talking to. Like there was times where I would say like different situations that happened to me and how upsetting it was. And it was like they could not wrap their mind around how someone could be mistreated simply because they were Black. Like it was just like, so I felt like it was like they were supposed to be helping me, but they were so stunned by what I was saying that they couldn't even like gather themselves. And I was just like, yeah, I need to work with somebody that is of color and preferably Black because you get my experience. And I'm so grateful. My therapist, not only is she a Black woman, she's a dark skinned Black woman and she has natural hair. And I'm just like, come on, representation. Like, it just makes me feel so good to go and just feel like I can be myself and just be seen and not have to like be sensitive to how I'm saying things. Like, I can just say it, because I feel like therapy should be the place where we don't have to censor ourselves. But I'm not even gonna lie, when I was working with white therapists, there was times when I did because I'm like, are they gonna understand this? Yeah, you might be trained in this on a psychological level, but you've never experienced it on a psychological level. So I don't really know how much advice you can give me on this or how much guidance, because therapists don't really give you advice. Sometimes they do, but not all the time. But yeah, so you're not wrong for one of your therapists to look like you. I think we should all strive to work with a Black woman therapist if you can find one. I feel like I found the needle in a haystack. Exactly. You have a common ground with race automatically. And I feel like it's just an icing on top that she just so happens to be a dark skinned Black woman and have natural hair. And she's like black, like there's a difference. There's a difference versus someone that's like, they grew up in the suburbs. Like, I don't know where she grew up, but I know that she's black, like she's a sister. So yeah, what are your thoughts around therapy? Miss Dimple says, I've been reading about ACE study and how our environment affects our childhood. This also affects us as adults. Oh my gosh, so much. Good evening. I just got on. Hi. The website, someone typed it above, is openpathcollective.org. It is affordable therapy, affordable therapist. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. But what do you guys think about therapy? Have you gone before? Are you considering going? I know Brittany says she's going on Friday, which is amazing. I think everybody should go. You're welcome. Thank you for typing that again. So let's talk about some of the other things that I've been doing, right? Therapy is like, I'd probably say the main thing that I've been doing. But some other things I've been doing is, someone was talking about this earlier in the comment section about makeup. I can 100%. Oh, wait, let me read this comment first. Therapy is so amazing. I truly have benefited as well. At first, it was a bit difficult, but you truly begin to open up and see changes gradually. Yes, that is so true. Yeah, I was kind of resistant to therapy at first, so I'm not even gonna lie. And I actually have a whole video about that where I talked about why Black people don't go to therapy. If you guys have never seen it, you should definitely check it out. So I talk more in depth about like, the religion and the stigma around going to therapy as a Black person, which I'm so happy that's changing now. Like with social media and all, like how wellness and self-care is so big, I feel like everybody's talking about mental health now, which is really cool to see. Brittany says, I work at a behavioral health office with a psychiatrist and a therapist. I honestly can't afford. Oh, it's gone. I can't see it. Oh, yay. That video gave you an extra push. I'm glad it did. I'm glad. I'm so glad it did. Okay, so some of the other things that I've been doing, right? So makeup is one of the things. I actually have makeup on now. It doesn't look the best though, because it's pretty late in the day. It's like 5 o'clock, and I put it on around like 8 when I went to church this morning. So yeah, so makeup has been a thing for me. I've been buying so many new products. I'm actually going to show you guys some of them now if you want to see them. But I've been going ham. I bought my first eyeshadow palette. Like, I feel like, who am I? I bought my first eyeshadow palette. Oh, you misspelled the word. It's okay. I was saying that I can't afford to go as much as I want, but I'm praying that God will provide some resources for me. Yes, I think you should totally pray for it. And even if you can't go consistently, like every week, if you can only go once a month, start there. If you can only go once every 3 months, start there. Seriously, because it is so worth it. It's so worth it. And I would definitely encourage you to check out that website. So, makeup, let's talk about it. So, I bought my first eyeshadow palette. Can anybody guess what I bought? Don't look at the packaging. Anybody guess what my very first eyeshadow palette was? Actually, I feel like some of y'all might be disappointed because I'm not really in tune with the makeup community drama, but I feel like I saw this guy's name somewhere for something problematic. I don't know, girl. This palette is everything. So it is the Morphe James Charles, and it is disgusting because I've been using it. The mini palette. Oh, okay. Jeffrey is the problematic one. James Charles, is he problematic? I know he was like a cover boy at one point, but I don't know if he said something wild or racist. I hope not. That's a really good suggestion. He is. Wait, who is Jeffrey or James? Are they both problematic? Oh Lord. I asked the girl that when I was buying it too. I was like, did he make racist comments? And she was like, no, it was the other guy, Jeffrey. And I was like, okay. I don't know what he did though. I feel like he did something as well. So this is the palette. Yes, they are both. Yes, they are both. Oh, both. Oh no, they're both problematic. Okay. I had a feeling, but when I researched, the only thing that came up was like something about CoverGirl. But this is the palette that I have. And as you can see, it literally has like every color under the rainbow. And I've been trying out looks. Today is pretty simple because I was just going to church. But I've actually been playing with like color and experimenting with like makeup again, which, like I was saying earlier, when I was a kid, I used to do that all the time. I was always playing makeup, playing with nails, playing in my hair, playing with Barbies. So that was something I figured would help me kind of tap back into that inner child, express my creativity. Because I don't know if you guys know this also, but art is a huge part of my life, like just drawing and sketching and painting, and that's always been a huge part of me. So that's something else that I've been doing, and I feel like this is a cool way to kind of express my artistic side. It's just a different format, basically. So this is one of the new products that I got. I also tried, oh my gosh, I have so many problematic brands right now, because I know I've heard about this one too, but again, I don't sit and watch the drama videos to know why they're problematic, but I know I've heard of this brand being problematic, and this is Juvia's Place. It was like some drama with her and Jackie. I don't even know. I wish that I would have like watched a little bit more, but I saw Ambrosia. I don't know if you guys follow her. Thank you. That's how I feel, regardless of who made the palettes. I'm experimenting. Level Up Cosmetics is by another YouTuber I would like to try. I never heard of that brand. But yeah, so I tried the Juvia's Place foundation. I was also using Bare Minerals. Somebody said they would use Bare Minerals. I was using Bare Minerals. But I ran out and I just never got more. And I was like, well, I guess I'll experiment with some other products. But I do like the Bare Minerals, the powder. It goes on really good. That's what I was wearing like all throughout the vlogs that you guys are seeing now, those summer vlogs. Usually I either had on no makeup or I had on Bare Minerals. So there's that. But I decided to try Juvia's Place, and this is a velvety matte foundation. It's definitely matte. Like now I'm getting a little shiny because it's the end of the day. But when you first put this on, it's like matte, which I don't love, but I think it's like a compromise that I have to make because I have oily skin. So I have to compromise, you know, that really matte look at first, where it's just like I just look really made up, which is okay sometimes, but it's like that's not always the look that I'm going for. So I'm still playing with this, trying to figure out if I really like it. I also bought, oh, and if anyone's curious, the shade is, I don't even know how to say this, Malawi 230. And I got a concealer, which again, I don't know if I love. I don't know if this is the right color, but it's in Mozambique. What's Brazy Bite? About to make more Brazy Bite and tea? I never heard of that before. Brittany says, I'm not gonna lie, Juvia's Place may be problematic, but them eyeshadow palettes, those eyeshadow palettes are fire. Like, I haven't bought one. I was gonna buy it, but then I saw this and I was like, this has more color range. But the colors in those palettes are fire. Like, that's what drew me to it, was the packaging and the colors and all of that. I hope this brand is owned by a Black person. I think so. Because I'm like, don't be using all these Nubian goddesses and Black women and naming all your products after us if it's not by a Black person. But anyway, Brazy Bites Brazilian cheese balls you bake for 20 minutes. Oh, I never heard of that before. It sounds good though, even though I don't eat cheese. So yeah, this is the concealer. And I got it as like a highlight, not like a just conceal, you know, because that's, to me, that's what the foundation is for. So I got this. Today, I went to Target, which is just, I really need to stay out of Target. Like, it's bad. I went to Target and I got this primer, which is the Blur Stick. If you guys have any suggestions for primers for combination skin, let me know, because I haven't figured out the primer situation. And if I'm going to be wearing foundation and stuff and just playing with makeup more often, I have to get the base right so that it can stay on, because I get so oily throughout the day. It is highly annoying. What else did I buy recently? I bought so many things. Jesus Christ. And at one point, I really was like, became a minimalist with my makeup. I threw everything out and now I'm just like restocking everything. So I also bought this palette from Black Radiance. It's the contour palette. And this one, oh my gosh, it's the Dark to Deep. This is the new one that they made. And it is, you want to talk about a contour? This color right here, it's so dark sometimes that I put on too much. And it's like, I have to like fix it, because this color is so good for contouring on brown and dark skin tone. I don't know about dark, like deep skin tones, but for my complexion, it works really, really, really well. And then, sorry, I have to charge my computer so it doesn't die. And the other color next to it is, it says Sculpt, but I like to use this as like a bronzer. The highlight, I don't really do the whole highlighting thing because I get so oily, but it's in there in case that's something of interest. Let's see. Crystal says, do you still use Osea brand for skincare? So I do, actually. I ran out of some of the products. I ran out of like the cleanser and some of the stuff, but skincare wise, I do actually still use the products. I have the Advanced Protection Cream. I use this every single day. I actually really like this because it dries down kind of matte. So it's like, for me, it's like a great base for when I'm going to put on makeup. So I still use this. And I also recently ran out of my mask. So I just have the samples now of the white algae mask I still use. And I also still use the eye serum. So yes, I still use it. If you guys are interested in checking it out, I have, if you use my name, Fatima Farmer, um, as the discount code, you'll get free shipping on your order. So if you want to try it, use the code. Something else that I bought recently is this Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray, which I've been seeing people raving about. I used it today. I feel like it did a good job, actually. Like I said, I've been, out and about. I went to the gym and everything. But after I came out of the gym, I noticed that my makeup was still intact. Like, I thought that my face was like a melting mess. But it wasn't. Like, I came out and I was like, wow, my makeup was still intact. So the girl at Ulta was like, I swear by this stuff. I love it. Because I was like, which one would you recommend between this? And it was a different one. But it was still this brand. And she was like, I swear by this. And I was like, girl, sold. So that is one of the things that I've been doing. What did you get at Polish? Oh, you're not talking to me. I was like, what? I like Black Radiance Primer. Do you let it dry before you put the foundation on? I went to Target today and spent $50 on 3 natural hair products. I'm itching to return something. Girl. Sometimes I wish I had dry skin because I feel like you can pull off the dewy look and all of that. But with oily skin, it's like I look dewy all the time. Like sometimes I don't want to look dewy. Target will get you. Target will have you in there spending all your money. And it is a struggle for me every day. Every day, Target is a struggle. So yeah, those are some of the products I got. I have more products, but I'm not going to go into all of them. But makeup has been a huge thing for me. Something else that I have been doing is, I'll talk about the physical stuff, is updating my wardrobe. So I think you guys can probably see like into my closet a little bit. It's kind of organized. These pieces I just washed so they're drying. But typically I have everything kind of color coordinated. So I have all my black stuff here. I have my browns. I have pinks and mauves but I've been updating my wardrobe and I've been intentional about really incorporating more pieces that bring out my feminine characteristics. I'll show you guys some of the pieces that I have. Let me just retie my robe so you're not seeing everything. I do have a little bralette underneath this, but still. So, welcome to my closet. So yeah, I'll show you guys some of the pieces that I've been getting lately that have been just helping me kind of tap back into that femininity. So I got this top, which I am obsessed with, from Zara. Like, how cute is that? Is it Zara or Forever 21? Yeah, it's Zara. So I love the color. You guys know this is like my signature color. Yay, a fashion show. I know, right? I'm doing the most right now. I hope you guys are enjoying it though. Let me know if you are. So yeah, like this top, I've really been playing with sleeves and textures and of course colors like this color and pinks and stuff, really bringing more of those into my wardrobe. I also bought this top from Target, which I have not worn yet. But again, just playing with like those different fabrics, and this has like a really nice feminine print on it. I think it's like flower outlines, but it's like these type of things, even just seeing them in my closet makes me want to dress more feminine because I see, Shein. I've never shopped there. What's the quality like though? Because I'm big on quality these days, so I have to check that out first. And this is another top that I got from Target. I've worn this one before, but it's like super cute, and you can do so much with these. You can like tie them at the waist. You can tuck them in. You can put a belt around it. Like there's so much you can do with like a button up. So I try to buy stuff that's like versatile. This top I've had for a while, but again, playing with sleeves, playing with like, my best features, the deep V. Okay, I'm gonna have to check out Shein. So that's some of the things that I've been doing. I bought this top. I'm annoyed because it's like so tight around my arms that it's like it doesn't fit right. So I might return this, but what else did I buy recently? This dress. So like playing with, the things that make me feel my best style wise, I've been experimenting more with that and just incorporating it into my wardrobe. So that's something I've been doing. I've also been something that may be surprising to you guys, that helps with femininity is for me has been having weekly routines to do things, not just like paint my nails and do my hair. That's part of it, but also like cleaning my place. Like something about so I moved. I'm sure you guys probably know this by now, or maybe you don't, but I moved to California and I have my own place now again. And I've been, decorating it, and that's been so much fun and DIYing, like DIYing everything and making everything nice and pretty. So that makes me feel feminine, just having beautiful, aesthetically pleasing like home really has been making me feel more feminine on a day-to-day basis. But also like cleaning, like setting a routine for myself where every weekend, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, I thoroughly clean my vanity, my bathroom, bathtub, mop my floors, like getting back into those routines that also help me to just feel like my best self brings out those feminine qualities for me. Because I don't know, when my place is like messy, and my place hasn't been messy in so long that I'm like, I don't even know what that feels like. But in the past, where if I would have like a messy room, or like my bed isn't made up, like I just feel sloppy, like I don't feel like I want to get dressed up and be and look beautiful when my space is a mess also. So that's something that I would recommend if you want to embrace more feminine sides. And I'm going to make more videos about this for sure, because I feel like there's so many things I can talk about. Um, but weekly routines, cleaning, cooking, pampering myself. Like right now, I'm about to do my nails. Then after that, wash my face, give myself a facial, do my waxing. I'm going to do my hair, like all of that stuff, so that when I go into the week, I feel like my best self. I feel confident. I'm also I've been trying to do it every week, but I haven't gotten there yet. So I'm trying to be patient. Be patient with yourself. That's something else I would recommend, is to be patient with yourself, because it's literally like you're trying to reprogram yourself. But planning out my outfit, at least for the next day, has been really helpful, so that when I wake up in the morning, I'm not rushing. I can take my time and get dressed and put together a full look. But if I already have the outfit figured out, it's like we're already a step closer. So those are some of the things that have been helping. And then on the other side, like on the vulnerability side, some of the things that I've been doing is letting people help me. Like I'm one of those people that I'm like, oh, I can figure it out. I can do it myself. Like, for example, I got these bookshelves from Target, or these shelving units from Target, two of them, they're huge. And in my mind, I got them delivered to the store, and I was like, I'll just go and pick them up. I get there and I realize that the boxes are huge. Typically, old me would be like, oh, I'll figure it out. I got it. Like, I'm saying old me, like just the day before I wasn't at IKEA getting the dining table and I figured it out. I didn't ask anybody for help. So sometimes I don't get it right. But when I was at Target, I was like, I'm sure somebody can help me. And I went in, the guy brought the boxes out, and I was like, is there possible that someone can help me put this in my car? And he was like, sure, I can help you. And then we went to my car, and I had the table from IKEA. I had like all this stuff in my trunk. So I had to rearrange stuff. And it was hard for me to just allow him to just do it. So I was kind of like I would feel myself being like, oh, maybe you could do this, maybe. And I just be like, actually, he got it. Like I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what do you recommend? Like I stopped making suggestions. I was like, what do you recommend? He was like, maybe we can just do this, and then I can do it. And I was like, okay. And I just stood there and let him do it. And then Anne says, yes, letting people help was a problem, but it's okay to accept help. Totally. It's like reprogramming your mind to believe that, it is one thing to verbally say it, and then you have to physically start doing it. And consistently, like you still have to verbally tell yourself that and let people do it at the same time. So that was my little practice in that. And I noticed how good I felt just allowing him to do that. And then after that, I had someone come over and build everything. And again, I was tempted to like try and do stuff on my own. I'm just like, this is a strong man who can do this by himself. He does not need me to direct or to pick up things or to try to carry stuff. Like I literally was just like, okay, like here's my apartment. I'll leave the trunk unlocked so you can grab the other stuff out. Like, thank you so much. And I just went back upstairs and just waited because I was like, I'm not going to. Like, at first, I was trying to like take the stuff out and carry stuff with him, and I was just like, he got it. Like, this is his job, and two, he's strong. He got it. Like, let the man do it. Let the man do his job. So I've been practicing that. And I think that's definitely been helping, not feeling like I have to bend over and break my back and try and like make things happen. Like, just ask for help. I'm still working on that in all settings. Work especially is a struggle for me, but I am getting better because I'm aware of it now. And I really think that awareness is like the first part. Wow, I did not paint my nails. Wow, okay. um, what else? I think that's it. I think I'm gonna end here. I'm happy to answer any questions or if you guys have any other comments, but I think the gist of what I have been reminding myself lately is that, oh, one other thing that I want to mention that my therapist kind of called me out on is the tendency to not allow myself to feel my emotions in the moment. Like, I was telling her how a lot of times when I feel myself getting emotional, whether it's angry or sad or I want to say happy too. I don't know about happy, but when I feel myself feeling emotions that don't feel the best, I will literally be like, okay, if I'm somewhere where I feel like I can't deal with it, I'm like, okay, I can't deal with this right now. So I'm gonna deal with it later. And sometimes I'll like write it down on my phone. I'll make like a note. So I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go back and journal about this later. And when I said that out loud to her, I was like, okay, this actually sounds crazy. Like, being like, I'm feeling sad right now. And because I'm in a place where I don't want to be vulnerable and I don't want to express my emotions publicly, I'm going to hold on to what I'm feeling, not say anything, and wait until I get somewhere private to feel what I'm feeling. I was just like, when I said it out loud, she really helped me to put it in perspective of how ridiculous that is and how it is so hurtful to dismiss your emotions like that. And it's like, that's a huge part of femininity is expressing your emotions. Like, we don't have to be emotional wrecks all the time to express our emotions, but we also shouldn't be hoarding them and like storing them for a later time, because that just builds up and then that projects outwardly. It's like, now I'm walking around with an attitude, or I'm just not being a nice person. I'm not happy. I'm not smiling because I am genuinely upset about something that I haven't processed. I haven't given myself space to process or the opportunity to process. It's just like, that's not helpful. And she really put that in perspective for me. But ultimately, the gist of what the point I'm trying to make is that it is not weak to be vulnerable or to be feminine or to express your emotions. It's not weak to ask for help. It actually requires a lot of strength to ask for help. It requires a lot of strength to express your emotions, and courage. So it's not weak. And I'm saying that to you, but I'm also saying it to myself as a reminder that it is not weak. It's feminine. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to stay on until I finish painting my nails and see if you guys have any questions or comments or thoughts. But I'm pretty much done rambling about this. Like I said, I'm definitely going to make more videos about these topics because I feel like it's so layered. And the more that I learn, the more I feel like the more I'll be able to share. Because I'll be able to share like my learnings and experiences. Something that has really been on my heart lately to talk about is I was gonna say dating, but not necessarily dating, but more of like the spiritual component of dating, or not dating, like being single. Because I'm single right now. So that's definitely something I plan to talk about in the future. So if you guys have any specific questions or thoughts or ideas around that, also let me know. You can let me know on Instagram or by sending me an email, which is always linked in the description box of every video. But I'm usually pretty responsive to my DMs on Instagram. So I don't see any questions or comments coming in. I don't even know if anybody's still watching. Oh yeah, you guys are. I'm like, it's so quiet. I don't know if anyone's here. Um, but yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. So okay, still here. So this is I love this nail polish. It's so cute. It's literally like a mix of gold, but it has little flecks of rose gold in there. I don't know if you guys can see. It's so pretty though. And this is how I've been painting my nails like this every week since like June. I love it. Like I don't even use colors anymore. If I do paint it, the color is usually like red, but that's like every once in a while. And this nail polish is from Urban Outfitters. It's called Fool's Gold. It's super cute. But yeah, this is like my go-to because it's feminine. It's simple. It looks like my nails are like done. Like people are always like, "Oh, your nails look so cute," and I'm like, it literally took me 2 seconds to do this, and it's nothing really special. But thank you. Sunkissed Kimmy says, "I am that way. I put my emotions on the back burner because I think that other people's emotions are more important than mine." Me too, girl. Brittany says, "Please talk about it. I just joined a single women's group at church. I know I need to heal myself first. I love hearing other people's perspectives and experiences. Sometimes we're all walking around the house, but still have the volume up on the video." Oh, okay, definitely understand that. I do that all the time. I'm like listening, but I'm like doing other stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely going to talk more about dating and being single and being a Christian and being the spiritual side of dating and all of that stuff. So, like I said, let me know if you have specific subtopics within those topics that you would like me to cover. So I'm excited about that. And also, I mean, I'm not going to commit to doing these on a regular basis, like every week at such and such time, because my life right now, I can't commit to that. But if you guys enjoyed this, which it seems like you did because you're still here and you've been talking to me, but if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comment section, and I'll definitely make an effort to do these more often because they're really fun for me too. I miss engaging with you guys on a regular basis because my podcast, I love podcasting, but it's not that direct on the spot engagement where I get to actually talk to you and hear what you're going through, and it's different. It's like a different vibe. So here's the final product. I was about to say project. Your hair is growing so much. What's the secret? There is no secret. It's just genetics. To be honest, I am a hairy person. My mom has a lot of hair. My dad has a lot of hair. Feminine testimony times once a month. Actually, that could be a thing. A feminine, like have a conversation about femininity every month. It doesn't have to be on a schedule. I watch whenever. Awesome, because I am not a schedule gal, as you have probably noticed by now. I'm like very bad at keeping schedules. I love them. So that's it, ladies and gents. If you're watching, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And yeah, let me know if any other thoughts or ideas come to mind, what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, and I'll be back. I'll definitely try to share at least like an hour early when I'm going to go live on my community tab and on my Instagram. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you later. Bye.